And I know that many of you are like, who are you to say about learning Polish if you were not born in Poland and you don't know nothing about this? Let me just share how much I know about Poland and Polish people. Hi and welcome to Rabbit Tales, and today we're going to talk about why you should learn Polish. So if you were expecting a video with Maria, Gaia or Sven, forget it, because it's just going to be me today. Well, maybe have just a small clip of Sven because he's cute. Sven. Before I start, just let me tell you that I've never studied Polish. I learned Polish in the school of life, and I can speak and communicate with people, but I'm not a great person writing Polish. Well, I actually usually use the phone and I dictate to the phone and he writes more or less what I mean, and then people get the message, what I want to say. And I know that many of you are like, who are you to say about learning Polish if you were not born in Poland and you don't know nothing about this? Let me just share how much I know about Poland and Polish people. Polish people have one thing, and just to prove that I know stuff about Poland, here's something, and we start with the first word called ogórek kiszony. That even makes ps. This is a typical one called the recipe of mother-in-law, and just for you to know how much I know about Polish culture. That's how Polish people go. According to some people, I might wake up tomorrow with superpowers, because they said this ogórek kiszony is the real thing. If you have something bad, this water might save your life. Or ruin it. We'll find out in a few minutes. First of all, I might leave you with some ideas or rules that you should follow, and questions like, why do you want to learn Polish? Maybe you want to live in Poland. Maybe you are someone like me that has wife, boyfriend, girlfriend, whatever, family that lives in Poland, and you want to learn the Polish language so you can communicate with the family, with everybody. Or for many people that started their relationship and they are invited to go to their future mother-in-law, they can actually understand what she's saying about them.
Twój chłopak je jak świnka.
This soup is really good.
Je, grube, je.
Thank you. And let me tell you also, Polish is very useful when you're traveling. No, Polish, it's only spoken in Poland and in Chicago. But when you travel and you know Polish, this opens a whole new world of listening to Polish people while they're traveling and complaining about things that they are seeing in other countries. So imagine you are traveling and you are going through the streets of Florence, somewhere in Italy, and suddenly you start to listen Polish people talking. And it will make your life much better, because you'll be on the streets and you listen out of nowhere. Mam nadzieję, że dzisiaj będziemy mieć kotlet i ziemniakę na obiad, bo wczoraj i cały czas tutaj mamy pasta. Nie wiem dlaczego oni cały czas gotują makaron z sosu. And this gives you a completely different perspective of what people need when they are traveling abroad. Second rule of Polish is basically this one: don't ask, don't tell, just memorize it. Because if you're going to make a lot of questions around it, why this, why that, people don't know how to explain it. Just memorize and life will be much easier. For example, this is a good one. I try to understand Polish, and I try, in my head to make some stories, and that like this is going to work like this. So if you open this, if this is this way, then this is going to be the other way. And a lot of times you have something like śmiałe, which is shy, and a person that is not shy is nieśmiały. So they put this nie as before the adjective to make the opposite adjective. So for some time I was in my head wondering, like, what does it mean samowite? Because niesamowite means amazing. What does it mean samowite? That needs to be such a bad thing that when it's niesamowite, it's just amazing. And it doesn't make sense, because I ask people, what does it mean samowite? It's like, nothing. And just the word niesamowite just sounds like not something, which is amazing. But no, it's just a word that it's called niesamowite and makes amazing out of nowhere. Just because you learn a rule in Polish doesn't mean that you can apply to everything. It's like, this is the rule for these words, they work for all the words. And I'm going to give you an example. A few years ago, I was working in a school, and during a break, I was hungry. And during that time, I started to understand that when you use ko, pka in the end of the word, it means small one. So you have piwo, beer, and you say piwko, small beer, or kupa, poop, and kupka, small poop. So I was hungry, and I went to this shop that was under the school where I used to work. And funny enough, I thought the word for sandwich is kanapka. And I understand, since this is pka, it's like a small sandwich, but I'm really hungry. I'm going to order something bigger. So I went to the shop, and it's like a small grocery shop, and I started to order something like kanapa poproszę. And the lady was looking at me very weird, and I was convinced that I manage this language, that I can do whatever I want. So I went to the lady and I started to explain her, and I started to say, no, kanapas szynka, majonez, jajko czasami, boczek, nie wiem, jakiś, obojętny, która kanapa. And she was even more confused when I decided to explain, because my attitude was so convincing that I was right, that she didn't understand what I was saying. And in the end, she just went to me and said, oh, kanapka. And I thought, okay, they don't have the big one, so I'll just take the small sandwich. Later, I found out that I spent 5 minutes ordering in this shop a sofa. I was ordering a sofa and telling her that you can put mayonnaise and ham, cheese, eggs, whatever, bacon on top of this. And that's why she was not understanding why I was so convinced. So one rule doesn't apply to all the words in the Polish grammar. One other tip that I have for you is that try to learn as much words as you know in Polish. I know that there's declinations and each one is seen in a different way, but try to learn as much as you know and as much as you can. And then you just go and ask a friend that can help you, and he will explain you how to conjugate the verbs. From here you will be able to start to build up sentences, and from this you can start to improve and start to have small conversations. So Polish might not be the most useful language that you'll ever learn in your life, but let me tell you that Polish people are going to deeply appreciate when you make an effort to speak Polish with them, and they are going to understand that you're going to make mistakes, and it's normal. It's normal, everybody makes mistakes. It's such a complicated language, at least compared with Portuguese, that they will accept that you make mistakes, and they will just be happy that you are trying to have a conversation with them, or else it wouldn't be possible. I know that nowadays in the big cities you can talk English with everybody, but it still happens that in the small cities it's not that easy to have a communication with people in English. And that's it, guys. I hope you enjoyed. Don't forget to leave a like, subscribe, and share this video with other people that might find this useful or funny, and see you on the next one. Now I'll have to explain my wife why we have a jar on the fridge with cucumber, this ogórek kiszony, without any sauce.